Several hundred people in Singapore have rallied against the death penalty in a rare public protest. The protest follows the hanging last week of a drug trafficker. Others are on death row. The UN and rights groups have asked the authorities in Singapore to show leniency in some cases, but the government says tough sentences help keep the city safe.
And Hungary's nationalist Prime Minister Viktor Orban has claimed victory in the general election after partial results gave his Fidesz party a commanding lead. The opposition, which had united behind a single leader in an effort to unseat Mr. Orban, has admitted defeat. It's the right-wing party's fourth successive landslide win since 2010. In Sri Lanka, the entire cabinet, and other than the president and prime minister, has resigned. The announcement was made following a late-night meeting as protests continue against the government's handling of a severe economic crisis. Several protests against the government's handling of the crisis have been held in defiance of a curfew imposed on Saturday. The authorities in Ecuador say at least 12 people have died during a riot in a prison in the southern province of Azuay. A government minister said the violence had been sparked by one criminal gang attempting to extend its control within the jail and being repulsed by other groups. He added that 90 prisoners had been evacuated, including 10 who were wounded. In the UK, sources say police have issued fines to people who were attending gatherings in Downing Street the night before Prince Philip's funeral last April. Some of those involved have been told there were reasonable grounds to believe they had committed an offence. It's the second set of fines in the so-called Partygate row over gatherings held when COVID restrictions were in place. And the third report from the UN's Intergovernment Panel on Climate Change is due to be published on Monday, but negotiations have been hampered by the differing financial needs of the nearly 200 nations involved. Discussions have centred on how countries can become carbon neutral by the middle of the century and come as energy prices soar. Police in California are searching for multiple suspects they believe carried out a deadly mass shooting in the state capital. Now, police in the United States have said that multiple shooters were involved in an attack that left 6 people dead and 10 others wounded in the Californian state capital of Sacramento. The mass shooting took place early on Sunday morning in an area packed with bars and restaurants. The city's chief described the scale of violence as unprecedented for the city. Pakistan's parliament is dissolved after Prime Minister Imran Khan survives a move to oust him ahead of new elections. And the star-studded Grammy Awards are taking place in Las Vegas. We'll have the latest on all the winners.